Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a My 2 Cent video for this week for July 21st to the 27th, 2024, where I take a look at a couple of stories that kind of caught my attention, and go and give you my thoughts and my opinion about them. And we have 4 stories to cover, including the director of the Mario plus Rabbids series on the Switch leaving Ubisoft, Nintendo going after the Splatoon 3 Champions, basically Ubisoft having to somewhat apologize over a controversy surrounding Assassin's Creed, I think Assassin's Creed Shadow, I believe that's the game. Yeah, that's it, Assassin's Creed Shadow. And finally, a report of a go-ahead for unionization at one of Microsoft Studios, Bethesda. If you're interested in where I got the source of these informations, links will be in the description of this video, assuming you watch this on YouTube. And if there's any part of the video you wish to skip to, timestamps will also be in the description, or at least on this video as well. Again, assuming you watch this on YouTube. But before we get started, I would like to do what I like to call the quick My 2 Cents, stories that kind of caught my attention, but I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details and all. The first one has to do with basically a AI generator, or a company that runs an AI generator that had to scrap some YouTube videos without permission, including on Nintendo. Now, AI certainly has been a very sort of controversial issue with that and the utilization of that. And while there are some benefits to it, there are also some controversies surrounding this. So far, we have yet to hear from Nintendo at this time regarding of this, supposedly the studio or something using maybe AI characters or their characters or anything like that. But knowing Nintendo, given their history of being extremely protective of their IPs, sometimes I think they're in the right on it, sometimes I think they're wrong on it though. It wouldn't surprise me if they decide to go after this AI group or anything like that. Again, we don't know if it will happen, but I would not be shocked if they were to go after this group. We also learned that supposedly the voice actors who done the Final Fantasy and Persona game are supposedly making a game, and get this, where you can literally date everything. I have no idea why this even exists or why this is a thing though, but somehow it is and everything like that. Whether this game takes off or not remains to be seen or anything like that, but just the whole concept is, well, let's put it this way: if you ever wanted to live out the fantasy of dating your vacuum cleaner, this is the game for you. And I have no idea why it exists. It's just an odd thing or something like that. We also learned that supposedly Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remaster, or the branding of it, was spotted at this week's San Diego Comic-Con. While there's been no official confirmation that the game exists or anything like that, that could be a sign that we could be waiting to hear maybe an announcement that the game is coming though. I know it's from Embracer Group, and right now Embracer Group is not in the greatest of spots at this time and everything like that, but still, there are those who would like to see a Legacy of Kain game happen though. Hopefully, if this one does happen, if the port is handled very well and everything like that, we'll have to wait and see until we hear official confirmation and everything. We also learned that supposedly the Super Mario World Lego set was officially revealed, and this one basically is taking, the animation of Mario sitting on Yoshi from the 1990-1991 classic Super Nintendo video game Super Mario World and all, and it basically has certain features such as a crane where you can basically watch Yoshi walk, to basically have the ability of Yoshi to stick out his tongue and everything like that. It's this interesting collaboration Nintendo and Legos has done. The downside to it, from last time I checked the price, is that it does seem to indicate that it will set you back $130. At least this is how it is in the US. So you probably want to save up your money if you're planning to get this and everything like that. We also saw a trailer for the upcoming remaster remake of Shadow of the Dam Hello Remaster. It is planning to launch this Halloween. This is definitely a favorite game of mine from Suda51. I definitely like some of his games that he has done, and this is definitely on my radar, especially since this is also coming to the Nintendo Switch, so I'm very curious to see how well this game will run on the Nintendo Switch indeed. I remember playing this game. I enjoy it, even though it may feel like you're hearing a dick joke every 5 seconds or everything like that, but it is still is a game I am looking forward to trying out. And last but not least, we have learned that supposedly the voice actors are apparently, who do voice acting for video games, are going on strike. And this again has to do with AI and everything like that. And like I said, I do think there is some concerns regarding AI. Like, I do think there's some benefits to it, but I can understand why some voice actors might be a little bit concerned about this with the use of it, though. We'll see how long this strike lasts and whether or not a deal can be reached in terms of regarding any concerns voice actors do have with AI in general. And finally, in the movie and TV show part of our My Two Cent, we learned from the direct that supposedly the director of Independence Day and Independence Day Resurgence supposedly has a story ready to go in terms of what they want to do for Independence Day 3. Now, no word has come out about it at this time, and obviously 20th Century Fox is now owned by, Disney, which is now goes by the name of 20th Century. Although recently, though, Independence Day has appeared on Hulu and Disney Plus recently, though, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that a third movie could happen. Honestly, I would like to see a third movie definitely happen indeed. Sort of like a way to sort of conclude the trilogy and all. While I know some folks had mixed feelings about Independence Day Resurgence, I still enjoyed it, even if it doesn't match what the original 1996 classic did. But I still enjoy it, and I would definitely be down for a third one if it does happen. And last but not least, we're getting reports, at least from Deadline as of recording this video, that the box office for Deadpool Wolverine seems to be pretty good so far. Despite what some critics are saying, the response seems to be mixed. The movie seems to be off to a good start with, I think, so far making $180 million, which is not bad. I mean, obviously we have to know what the budget for this movie is, but if that is the case, I think that's not a bad start at all or anything like that. Okay, with the quick My Two Cent part and the movie and TV show part now done, we'll get started with our first story, and this one has to do with Bethesda, particularly that they have decided to unionize and everything like that. Now, one of the things that we have seen some push lately in the gaming industry, though, is the push for unionization. We've seen this with Activision Blizzard, where basically there was a push for, the communication workers of America, or a better working place and everything like that. And a lot of this has to do with the response ranging from layoffs to work conditions and crunch and everything like that. And while not every studio has unionized or anything like that, we are starting to see that trend happen, though. Now, my take on it is that I feel like any decision regarding unionization should and always be the employee's decision, though. They have to ultimately decide whether or not they think unionization is the right direction to go. Now, we have seen some studios under Microsoft, such as ZeniMax, basically decide to unionize. And we have heard comments like from Phil Spencer saying that he will remain neutral when it comes to this decision. And for the most part, they have been true to their words. Well, now we have learned that Bethesda has decided to, basically, the employees over there decided to vote in favor of unionization and everything. In an article from Game Developer, it reads that, quote, Bethesda Game Studios employees have formed the first ever wall-to-wall unions at Microsoft. The Communication Workers of America, CWA, shared the news and explained the union consists of 241 developers, including artists, engineers, programmers, and designers that have either signed a union authorization card or indicate they want union representation via online portal. Microsoft has immediately recognized the union, which has been formed months after the company laid off 1,900 workers and shuttered major ZeniMax studios such as Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, and Apple Dogs Games. The new unionization Bethesda Game Studio developers will become members of the CWA location 2108 in Maryland and 6215 in Texas. It's also worth pointing out that basically that same developer has also pointed out that Blizzard Entertainment has now started to form a wall-to-wall union over there, though. Personally, as I said before, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I think it is great that employees made this decision, and as long as this was done in a free and fair manner with no outside interference of any type, I think this is a good thing. I think it's nice that it's time that a lot of these employees are treated respectively. I mean, I'm not saying they shouldn't be held accountable for their actions or behavior, but I do think in a time when we're seeing a lot of layoffs and everything like that, I think it's nice to see them actually push for representation with unions and everything like that. It remains to be seen if we'll see other studios from Microsoft. I mean, as I mentioned, we've seen with Blizzard, we've seen with Bethesda and ZeniMax. It'll be very interesting to see if other studios that Microsoft has purchased will push for unionization. And it will also be interesting if we start hearing more studios start to do that. So time will ultimately tell if that happens or not. But overall, I would say good on the employees that this is a decision that they came to, and if that is the case, I think that's good. I'm glad that they made the decision to vote in favor of unionization and everything like that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2, and this one has to do with Ubisoft offering supposedly an apology after some controversy surrounding basically Assassin's Creed Shadow. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of my 2 cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look of Ubisoft, particularly with the upcoming video game Assassin's Creed Shadow. Now, obviously, this is the next entry in the Assassin's Creed series from Ubisoft, and this one has been, I think some have kind of requested for quite some time, taking place in the feudal Japan and everything like that. However, there has been some controversies ever since the game has been revealed, particularly with 2 of the characters, particularly one who happens to be, and I'm not saying this in a racist way, black. It is worth pointing out there have been some that have tried to respond to this, go as far as playing the unnecessary woke card and everything like that. Well, while there has been some folks who are mixed with some of the characters, there has been some controversies surrounding the game, particularly with Ubisoft having to recently apologize. And what's also interesting is the game has also led to some folks in Japan or anything like that not happy with how certain things are being portrayed and everything like that. In an article from GameIndustry.biz, it basically reads that, quote, that Ubisoft apologize for Assassin's Creed promotion that material that has caused concerns. It says that, quote, Ubisoft has issued a statement regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows, acknowledging that some promotional material has caused concern within the Japanese community. For this, we sincerely apologize, the statement read. All game footage presented so far in development, the game will keep evolving until launch. It is unclear what materials Ubisoft is referring to exactly, but PC Game End mentioned it's reported that a petition starting in Japan calling for Assassin's Creed Shadows cancellation has garnered 94,000 signatures. Ubisoft continues to misunderstand the true nature and role of a samurai. The petition reportedly read, this is a serious insult to Japanese culture and history and can also be linked to Asian racism. In a statement, Ubisoft mentioned that it strives for authenticity but reminds players that Assassin's Creed games are a work of fiction. It also reads, our intention has never been to present any of our Assassin's Creed games, including Assassin's Creed Shadow, as factual representation of history or historical characters. Instead, we aim to spark curiosity and encourage players to explore and learn more about the historical settings we get inspired by. Inspired by, though. A couple of weeks ago, Ubisoft apologized for the unauthorized use of a flag belonging to a real-life reenactment group in Assassin's Creed Shadows concept art. It's also worth pointing out that supposedly the debate has somehow reached the Japanese government minister, but they have also reported that saying that they said that they're not investigating the Ubisoft game or anything like that. Now, do some people kind of feel that this whole controversy is fabricated and everything like that? And well, I mean, it is possible, but at the same time, I can also understand why in general they may be defended, or like how it's not being portrayed the right way. Shogun, for example, is a good example. One example I could think of, not the FX Shogun, but the original, I think 1980 Shogun. I remember reading how some folks in Japan were not happy with how that show or that miniseries was portrayed and everything like that, compared to FX's Shogun, which seems to have gotten a better response and everything. So, I mean, I think that this is one where I think Ubisoft has to sort of tread carefully and all, and it sounds like they may have stumbled along the way and everything like that. It remains to be seen how big this boycott would go, or this, whether this game will be canceled or not. I highly doubt it will. I think they'll move ahead with it, and it'll be interesting to see what impact this has in terms of sales, both physical and digital, when the game eventually comes out. So overall, do I think the apology is sort of odd and everything? Maybe to a certain extent, though, but it remains to be seen what impact it will have on the game's sale. I don't think it will have an impact at all, but I could be wrong, though. I will admit I could be wrong on that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to part 3. And this one has to do with Splatoon 3 and the decision Nintendo made to basically take away the award that this group has gotten, though, and everything. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back with part 3 of my Two Cent video for this week, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at Splatoon 3, particularly a controversy having to do with a team that competed in a competition. Now, one of the things we've seen with Nintendo's IP ever since the original Splatoon happened is we've seen them push them into more like the competitive sports and everything like that, similar to with Smash Brothers and everything. And although there's been some controversy of how Nintendo has approached some of this, such as, not bringing like maybe Smash Brothers to EVO or something like that, we've seen them host their own tournaments here and there. But if there's one thing about Nintendo is they also have some certain rules and everything like that. And while some of the rules can be a bit, some might argue, over the top, and there may be some truth to that, though, there have been some times when it does make sense, though. And this one, I think, depending on how you want to look at it, might make sense. In an article posted on GameIndustry.biz, it reads that, quote, Nintendo revokes wins of Splatoon 3 World Champion victors jackpot after misconduct allegations. Decision follows evidence that team members use racial language on social media and Discord. Some of the article reads that, quote, Nintendo has revoked the wins of teams that triumphed in Splatoon 3's World Championship earlier this year after allegations of misconduct arose regarding several of its players. Jackpot won the official Nintendo competition back in April, but a statement on Nintendo's VSX account yesterday revealed that their wins will be considered vacated and the team will not receive trophies for this competition. It has come to our attention that certain members of Team Jackpot act in a manner that is not in line with our community guidelines while playing the Splatoon 3 game, the platform holder wrote. While Nintendo did not specific what the allegations involved, Polygon report that another competitive Splatoon player shared evidence on X in June that members of the team had used racial language and slurs in social media posts and during Discord chat. There are also clips of the team members talking about other players using racial terms while streaming matches online. Nintendo has also released a Splatoon 3 in-game cosmetic item, a splash tag featuring the team character from the championship. This will be altered during an upcoming software update. Nintendo cares deeply about our players and our community, and we take our responsibility to uphold our community guidelines seriously, the company says. Now, some might argue, maybe some people think this is a little bit harsh. We've seen trash talking before and all. But at the same time, others might point out that Nintendo has been known to maintain a certain image to a certain degree, and it's possible that this was not something they were willing to, tolerate and everything like that. Obviously, maybe it's possible that this team had to sign a term of service and everything like that about in terms of what conduct they can produce, what they can do and everything. And obviously, it's possible that they violated that term of service. So, I mean, it kind of sucks for them, especially if not all the team members did this and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I mean, if Nintendo wrote these rules and told them, hey, you have to behave like in this manner or not, and they didn't, I mean, I'm sorry that some of these folks are getting this trophy or whatever they won taken away. But again, if Nintendo, it's their game, and if they wrote the rules, and yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, it is very unfortunate and everything like that. So overall, I would have to say, though, very, very unfortunate what happened to this team. But at the same time, like I said before, if there were rules that prohibit them from acting like this way, then I can't argue against Nintendo telling, hey, you're not going to get this award or anything like that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 4, our fourth and final part. And this one has to do with the departure of one of the folks who helped create the Mario plus Rabbids series. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, we are back with our fourth and final part of our Might You Sent video. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at unfortunately, one of the departure of one of the folks who worked on the Mario plus Rabbids series. Now, before the Nintendo Switch came out, there were rumors about this idea of a game that would involve the Rabbids and, the Mario franchise in general, though. There were talks ranging from it being like a Fire Emblem-like game and everything like that. Obviously, when the game came out in 2017, that wasn't the case, but it said was a game that kind of took the Rabbids and the Mario franchise and sort of took the approach similar to what we saw with, Take-Two's, 2K's, XCOM series and everything like that. This was follow-up with the game Spark of Hope, which would come out, I think it was last year or something like that, but unfortunately did not do as well, based off, at least according to what Ubisoft was saying and everything like that. And one of the folks who was apparently who worked on this, who was a director, I think by the name of David Solow, if I'm saying his name correctly and everything like that. I apologize if I'm not. He was also famous for seeing one of the scenes at E3 2017 where the camera was pointing to him. He was kind of sort of in tears, mostly because of this project that he worked on and everything like that, especially for the Nintendo Switch and all. Well, recently it seems that after 25 years, he is basically leaving Ubisoft and everything like that. In an article from Nintendo Life, it's had to do with a post he put it on X, and this is what he had to say. Quote, hi all folks, after 25 years, 11 of which beautifully spent working with Nintendo on Mario plus Rabbids, along the company of our incredible community of players, I have decided to leave Ubisoft to embark on a new adventure. I can't say more now. Thanks a lot for everything, truly and all. So they haven't confirmed what his new venture might be, but it'll be interesting to see what he does basically going forward and all. I do think that this decision for him to leave does throw into question the Mario plus Rabbids series going forward, considering it remains to be seen if a third entry is going to happen or not. I mean, I would like for it to happen, but after hearing how Ubisoft claimed the second game underperformed and everything like that, although that's Ubisoft, we don't know what Nintendo might say and everything like that, it does throw into doubt if a third entry will happen at all and everything like that. It is kind of sad to see this person go, because I would have liked him to direct maybe one more Mario plus Rabbids games, but obviously he wants to do something else and everything like that. I just hope that this wasn't a case where he was just let go or fired or everything like that, that this was a case that he made the decision to leave on his own, which I think would be fine if that was the case and everything like that. But I will say it kind of sucks because we're losing one of the folks who helped create the Mario plus Rabbids series for the Nintendo Switch. It throws into question whether a entry for the Switch successor or the Switch 2 will happen, or if we get some sort of like complete edition or anything like that. I mean, We might see that. We saw that with, I think, Ghost of Tsushima when they put that on the PS5 under Ghost of Tsushima director's cut and everything like that. So remains to be seen if that will ever happen. So overall, I am sad to see him go and leave Ubisoft. Hopefully it will be very interesting to see what he does next. But at the same time, like I said, it does throw into question whether we'll ever get a third entry in the Mario plus Rabbids series or the series in general and all. Okay, this concludes my 2 cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about Bethesda deciding to unionize, or the employees that make the decision to unionize? Do you think this is a smart move on their part? Do you think this is a good thing in any way? Do you think we could start seeing more and more studios or their employees decide to unionize and all? What are your thoughts about this apology from Ubisoft following some controversy surrounding Assassin's Creed Shadow? Do you think this apology was necessary? Do you think it was unnecessary? Do you think that it addressed any of the problems, or do you think it just made the matter worse? What are your thoughts about Nintendo revoking this Splatoon 3 winnings and everything like that, following some what may be inappropriate comments made on social media and Discord? Do you think Nintendo was in the right to do this, or do you think maybe Nintendo went a little too far in any way? And finally, what are your thoughts about the creative director on the Mario plus Rabbids series leaving Ubisoft? Do you wondering what he's going to do next? Do you think this throws some uncertainty over the Mario plus Rabbids series going forward? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you'd like. You could do it through PayPal me or Patreon or Steam Labs. Links will be in the description of this video, so me watching this on YouTube. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!